Hello, in this video, I would like to talk about the relationship that exists between a carbon tax and global economic inequality. Now, at first blush, one might find it hard to distinguish a relationship that exists between these two things, but that is what I would like to try to do. Now, the EU is set to propose an import tax on countries which are high emitters of carbon emissions. This is done in the hopes that the European countries can work together to limit their overall carbon emissions. Now, this proposal is great in the sense that real effort is being made by a large group of countries to limit their carbon emissions. However, there are some drawbacks to this. One of the drawbacks is that such a potential carbon tax could effectively make the European nations less economically competitive in relation to the other regions of the world who do not have such a tax. Now, although I can see this as a valid criticism, I would go a step further and say that even if we take this criticism as a certainty, that is something that will definitely happen in the future, that is, the European countries do become less competitive, I could argue that that is not such a bad thing. If one region of the world, or multiple regions of the world, who are wealthy become less economically competitive, then overall the global economic inequality that currently exists goes down. When a wealthy country or a group of wealthy countries become less economically competitive due to their desire to limit carbon emissions, then other regions of the world take up the slack. The other regions of the world that are currently less economically fortunate will reap the benefits of this newfound footing, and they will become more economically stable as they become a major center for trade. So in a way, the environmental movement not only does help the environment in the long run, in that carbon emissions will be reduced, but it also, in a sense, can work to balance out the large economic inequality that currently is stifling the globe. Now, I don't know if in reality this relationship will hold, but I hope that it does. I hope that this relationship does work to not only benefit the environment, but also benefit the nations of the world in a more economically just manner, so that more people of the world can raise their standard of living and thus live better lives. If we can achieve these two things, that would be remarkable. Now, it is always much harder to achieve an outcome than it is to model an outcome on paper. But I believe the logic used in this argument is sound. And that is all one can hope for when dealing with such complicated issues. At some point, you roll the dice and hope for the best. And I think that this is a good step for its immense benefits that it can bring to the world as a whole.